That's weird because mine is showing you up there instead of me. Like two versions of you.
Nope, you're still there.
Oh no, it was just that little overlay box that pops up.
All right, we're live.
Like, no. Alright, mute Skype. Are you muted on Skype?
Yes.
Did I tell you that I picked up my other mower from my rent house? Got it home, loaded it and everything, by hand. It wasn't running or anything. Just dragged it up on the mower and stuff, on the truck. Mm-hmm. Got it home, unloaded it, only to realize it had been shot up by just some crazy backwoods person that just sits there and shoots mowers. Like, who does that?
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's
it was one of his employees, I guess. He said, wow, I'm sure it was John or something. I said, I fired him. He had his little camper out here, and he was just got a little too crazy, and I fired him. I'm sure it was him because it was right by his camper. He helped me load it. Neither one of us noticed it. Anyways, he gave me his mower, so at least he's being an honest guy.
That's
you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I got it home and finally mowed yesterday. Whoa. My yard was like over knee height in the back 2 acres.
Dang, just snake bit back there.
Man.
That's funny. Sweet. Facebook, they do these updates, and then they always have to do a follow-up update because they mess up the Facebook app.
Every time.
Grows. Yep.
Every time.
So now the group thing's working again.
Oh, really?
Hallelujah.
That probably means mine's not. Because every time we get an update, something works for
so like we'll buy word shoes, does it?
Yep.
Alright, he's hopping back in. He's going to give it a shout.
I get what he's going through.
He's like, one more try. One more game.
Yep. It's just like punch a hole in the screen. Sometimes.
Hey, remember in the beginning, though, we'd just be freaking. I'd be freaking. Getting all stressed and bent out of shape. And I was like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Life's
it's all good. Hey, let him in the Discord.
When you're big, when you're a big dog. There he is. What's up, Hunter?
Are we live?
You're there.
Okay, I want everybody to know that's listening live, do not buy Cox services. It freaking suck.
Hey, they're local. They can be a sponsorship, bro.
And their stocks immediately plummeted from our listenership.
They need to understand that if they're going to be sponsored or whatever, they need to step up their freaking game.
Okay. I agree.
My phone's doing
ridiculous.
The thing. Scroll. Here we go.
It's not even that my internet's slow. It's amazing when it's on, and then all of a sudden it'll just
it's gone. Dips out on you.
Like literally drops. It says it's not available anymore on my PC or on my.
What's weird is it's almost like Discord already knew it, right? Like your internet was working, you were still able to log on, but Discord was like, "No, something's happening here," and then boom, the whole thing shut down.
Right.
Does my voice sound weird?
No, you sound
a little bit. No, you sound barely. A little bit.
A little raspy? I thought so too. I think I can hear it.
Man,
yeah, you sound distant. Actually, I was going to tell you last time you sounded distant. Is your mic further away than normal? Like since
so it's just distant? For me, I thought I was hearing like an electronic thing.
No, I don't think so.
It's just quiet?
No, you kind of just sound a little more in a barrel than you usually. Yeah, echoey.
That's probably because my room's bigger.
Yeah, you just need to get some more stuff in there, like maybe put some pads up or something. Just some more furniture to help capture the echo.
I'm just wanting to make sure
my mic.
You are coming through your good mic, right? Because we've done that before, and you moved, and now I'm just trying to be that guy, just to make sure.
Because I wonder, how would I figure that out again?
You'd mute it, and it'll go away. Yeah, you're gone.
Hey, can you go into the projector on Discord and see if it's picking up audio?
Projector.
I don't know what that is. What's the projector on Discord?
On the live, the screen share I'm doing.
I don't know what you mean by that.
You gotta click where it says live. And then go to join stream.
Oh.
Then you can see what's going on in the stream.
This is nice. I didn't know about this.
Did you have that last time?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was actually sharing Streamlabs, though. That was the problem. So you can see us, but you can see all Streamlabs. Now I figured out how to do a little projector thing that does that.
okay. I didn't know they could see us last time, so I like that on Discord. I don't hear anything on there, just so you know.
It's not playing music.
I don't hear anything. But I don't know if I can because I'm in the chat with you. You get what I'm saying? I couldn't hear it last time either.
Yeah.
You don't hear it either?
That would make sense if it would do that, because then you wouldn't want it.
Right, it'd be all duplicated and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess it doesn't know what you're sharing to me. It can't know that. So, I don't know.
That's on. It's not muted.
I'm in like Flynn and ready for sin. Let's do this thing.
I like that.
How's my volume? Am I a little quiet? I'm not hitting orange or anything at all, so I'm thinking I might be a little quiet.
You're a little louder earlier, but sometimes that's deceiving.
How's that now? Am I good?
Mm-hmm.
Any difference at all?
Talk.
Talkie talkie, maki maki, walkie walkie.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I don't know how to tell you whether we have sound there or not, Clint. I'm sorry.
That's okay. They'll let us know in the thingamajig.
Obviously, they were hearing us last time, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we're good.
Ooh, another thing is... we'll worry about that later. I don't want to mess anything up. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining in. We're just about to launch this beast.
Get
Episode,
ready to go.
what is this, 66 or 67, Clint?
66, brother.
I mean, we've been here forever. Add another 6 to it, and it's the mark of the beast. Same as my credit score.
That's a good one.
It really was. I pulled it up the other day, and it was 666.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Moving on up. You know what I mean?
Moving on up in the big leagues. All right. Let's do this. I got to remember not to minimize my screen or it does the whole paused. Probably just did it, right?
Not sure.
All right. We're going live.
Yeah, it does. It says paused.
Hey, and if you like the podcast, you're tuning in, like and share it. Let your friends know about it. Don't hog all the action.
And if you know somebody who'd like to be a guest on the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast, hit us up. Email, chat, Facebook, Messenger, whatever. We have a guest once a month, usually at a minimum. Got to be a dad with an epic story or someone involved in the gaming scene somehow. And we'll bring you in.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get this chicken kicking. Tonight's episode of the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast is brought to you by Click Gaming, a freelance esports tournament company based out of Oklahoma. If you are located in the U.S. and need esports services, this is the ultimate gaming company for you. Contact Johnny Weaver at icychiller@att.net. That's ICYCHILLER. Tonight on the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
Wielding swords and casting spells.
Delicious food. Passing out. No, I don't have anything in common.
In gaming, age is just a number.
And now, the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. It's another episode of the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast, episode 66. I'm Clinton Stanley, and I'm here with...
Ryan Maddox, what's up?
And...
Grumpy Pants.
AKA...
Hunter, yes.
Hunter what?
Boy
Hunter?
Venable.
There you go. There you go.
Hunter got booped by Cox Venable.
Yeah.
Get some bass in your voice, bro. Come on, step it up. Don't let
I've been
Cox...
booped all day.
Don't let the Cox get you down.
I've been booped all day.
Well, today we've got gaming news, of course, and I'm going to unpack it one story at a time with excitement in my voice. And Ryan has some tips on an epic RPG.
Heck yeah.
What's the name of that RPG?
That RPG is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Ooh.
The only RPG that matters right now.
But you know what we need with that RPG? We need some food. And that's
Heck
what Hunter's bringing us tonight.
Who has super sweet swords and doesn't know how to make dinner, you know?
Right.
Probably a lot of people, actually.
I didn't know about my swords. Oh, you're talking about Final Fantasy.
Well, before we start, we just want to go around the round table real quick. How's everybody's week going right now?
Worst week in a while.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I found myself in one of those stress bubbles, and you kind of stand outside and you look at it and you go, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? You know, you remember when Family Matters, he used to say that, and it was Steve Urkel that was bothering him.
Yeah.
For me, I think I've just kind of had a couple things thrown curveballs on me all at once, and it's one of those weeks where I let them become bigger than they are, and I had to go, wait a minute, this can't be as big as it is. I stepped back, it's like, what's going on? That's how this week's been. So today was like a recovery day. I had counseling, you know, sat down with the wife on the couch and released all my emotions, and I feel a lot better.
Good. Well, I think we know how Hunter's week's going, but Hunter, go ahead and share, please.
No, my week's been pretty decent. It's been really busy at work. But today was a little different. I woke up this morning, and I'm pretty labor intensive at work, so I get knots in my shoulders, and just normal. I had Natalie work them out. They just hurt a little bit, every once in a while, but nothing serious. Well, I got up this morning, and my shoulder was killing me, like absolutely killing me, and I thought that it was just a knot in my shoulder. Well, the more that I sat there and worked on it, and then by the time I got to work, I could barely lift my shoulder up. Like, thumbs up. So ran to the chiropractor. This guy at work hooked me up with this chiropractor that got me in really fast and was able to adjust me same day. And I got there, and the guy starts feeling around my shoulder, and he's like going for my rotator cuff because I played baseball, checking all that stuff. And he thought I had a pinched nerve by the way my pain was on my and my shoulder was out of place, kind of not literally.
I get it.
Right.
And then he said that my rotator cuff was attached, which is good. I didn't tear it or anything, which happens sometimes when you've played baseball for years. It kind of weakens, and then something can tear it. But anyways, long story short, the guy starts getting in there with his thumb, and every time he's hitting this nerve that is running through my rotator cuff, it's just sending that shock to that place that's been hurting all morning. And he goes, "Is this tender?" And I said, "Yeah, that's hurting exactly, where it's been hurting all day." Well, about 5 seconds after that comes out of my mouth, I start getting woozy, like lightheaded.
Really?
You feel like you can't pick your head up off the ground. Like, I said, "Doctor, do you got water?" And he stopped and he said, "You okay? You got?" And I said, "I feel like I'm about to pass out." I've never passed out before, mind you, so I'm just guessing. This is what it feels like. I'm about to fall over on the ground. And he goes, "Yeah, let me get you water." He turned down the air, got me some water, and he said, when you touch that nerve in people's arm, it can actually drop their blood pressure. So he was just working on it, and it was just about to make me pass out. And so I was weird. I was a little embarrassed. I had to lay there, and recuperate before he could start working on me again. But anyways, he put me in a hold, popped it back up in, which was not even as bad as almost passing out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good to go.
Really?
I mean, it feels great. It's sore. Obviously, anytime you get
Right.
adjusted like that, it's a little sore, but a fraction of how bad it was hurting this morning. So that was my day. And then I was exhausted the rest of the day because all the pain I went through beginning of the day. So, and then at home, my internet didn't want to work. So
there you go.
Nice.
you guys get the best of me today.
That's
Nice.
exciting. Well, hey, this is a pain-free zone. If you're having chronic pain on the listenership, just remember we'll ease that pain with some laughter, some happiness,
Oh, yeah.
and a little bit of banter. And that's what we're doing today. My week's going pretty good. I guess I need to share too. It's a round table.
Heck yeah. You're the only one that matters.
So my week's just crazy busy. We've got a lot of extra projects now that have fallen on my plate because we shut down, not hardly seeing anybody for a month and a half, 2 months. So now it's time to get everybody we can in and get every type of appointment that we can get. So
you guys are all the way back to booking regular appointments and everything now.
Pretty much.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we have regulations and there's things we're doing differently than we did before, but yeah, we're pretty much stepping the game back up. So it's just kind of a lot of the extra projects that make it a little crazier. And I'm the only one there this week, so that's cool.
Gotcha.
The only nurse in the building, so that's keeping me hopping. But yeah, other than that, Mother's Day was good, and last week went well, so can't complain too much.
Mother's Day was last weekend, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm just
So this last weekend was actually good for me. We had a birthday with the daughter, and that all went real good. We did indoor camping because of the rain and stuff like that. So I guess outside of the couple days we took out for my daughter's birthday stuff has been chaotic. And usually that probably makes it feel even more chaotic, right? Like anytime life is kind of hectic and you get a little bit of a break, then you realize how hectic it is because you're like, oh, I'm going back to that. And so that's kind of what happened when this week snapped back to reality.
And then it's full blast gas. Gas
it just hit me.
Yeah. That's never fun. That's the worst part about vacations. You come back and you're like, oh. Yeah,
that's true.
Here we go.
The real world.
Yes. Well, speaking of the real world, we've got some gaming news this week.
Heck yeah.
I'm excited to share it with you guys, get your opinions, see what you think about it. So let's check it out. Leaks for Geeks. That's right. It's Leaks for the Geeks time. Time to share this week's awesome news and so not awesome news. This week's actually pretty positive, Ryan. I wanted to keep it happy because I'm a prophesizer. I knew that Hunter's shoulder would be hurting and he needed some happiness and some goodness in his life.
I see. So you use your prophesizing skills to adjust the evening. I like that.
Yeah. So my first thing I'm going to do to make Hunter feel good, we're going to talk about a game that he likes, which is Fortnite.
Ooh.
Yeah. And me and him actually hopped on, when was it, Hunter? One of the nights that Ryan was busy. We hopped on, played a little bit, not much.
He's gone, I think, because I saw his face there a little bit ago. Looked like it was frozen.
Oh, maybe.
Yep. I don't think I think the Cox internet got the best of him. Guys, Hunter probably will not be coming back. We tried to get everything fixed before the show started. He's going to wring Cox Internet's throat, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
and he wishes he could be here. But if you listen, or if you're listening, Hunter, you could jump on Discord on your phone, maybe.
Oh, that's
Not
true.
sure.
I didn't think about that option.
Yeah, and we could have his voice.
That's true. Did not think about that. You might text him and let him know that while we're discussing the news.
Okay.
Let him know there's an app and he can actually use his phone internet, which would probably work just fine. So anyway, back to the subject at hand. We're talking Fortnite, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like the Fortnite Doomsday event is finally going to be happening. 2 Fortnite data miners have dug up evidence pointing toward the official unnamed event's imminent arrival. Epic Games hasn't made any announcements itself, Leaks discovered by pouring through the game's files point to a new countdown timer that's soon to come online, as well as in-game changes such as the disappearance of the Doomsday device from Midas' secret headquarters. Fortnite data miner Spadicy1 recently managed to trigger the appearance of a new in-game countdown clock. Fellow Fortnite data miner HypeX also discovered evidence pointing toward the countdown, as well as some other in-game changes. The Doomsday device in the background of Midas's office, well, it isn't going to stay put for much longer if the data mining is accurate. The current season was originally set to end in April, but Epic Games gave it roughly a month-long extension. The new season is now set to begin June 4th, and if previous season transitions are anything to go by, things are going to get crazy in Fortnite's universe.
Let me ask a question, and maybe I sound like demo, but is a data miner? There's someone who's going through the code of Fortnite, trying to find things that are buried.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what a data miner is doing? And so in that code, they found things that they could activate, such as these clocks, these timers.
Yeah, because sometimes things are already in the preload. Like, anytime they do like a pre-expansion update or maybe an update right before an expansion, you can
it's just turned off to everybody else for now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the end is nigh for the Fortnite universe, so to speak. So we'll see what they do with that. Another little bit of news, and this isn't so much. I mean, it is news, but I just wanted to share it with our PC gamers out there that use the Epic Games Store. If you're using Epic Games, they have updated the refund policy for all EGS purchases. Now you'll be able to return Epic Games Store titles within 14 days of purchase, so long as you have no more than 2 hours played on the game.
Whoa, I like that.
Mm-hmm. In addition,
so you can try it.
Yeah, you can try it. Send it back. In addition to the above requirements that we just mentioned, no more than 2 hours played. Like we said, you also must not have been banned in the game or have violated any other terms of services agreements within your specific game that you've played.
Okay. Yeah.
And of course, all refunds are going to be up to the discretion of Epic Games itself. They'll review it and let you know. Also, if you're listening tonight live, you need to head on over to Epic Games Store to get the Rockstar Games Grand Theft Auto 5. It's free right now until tomorrow. After that, May 21st, you're out of luck. And then a new mystery game will be
I know a lot of people
revealed.
already have Grand Theft Auto 5, but if you're somebody who's got it on PlayStation or something like that, and you don't have it on PC, this would be a good time to grab it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And just remember that ends on May 21st, which as of the recording will be tomorrow. So if you're listening on iTunes or any of our other apps, then you're out of luck by Friday.
Yep.
But
that means it was yesterday.
Yep. Just want to make that available to our current listeners. And then we're going to talk about Elder Scrolls Online, a game that I've played a little bit. I've dabbled just a tiny bit into the game, but I think it's something, we might need to look into just because it has that. It doesn't play like World of Warcraft. It plays more like Skyrim games.
Right.
Elder Scrolls. So, the MMO's been going for quite some time now, and they released a trailer, which was a teaser trailer, for their new expansion, Greymoor.
Okay.
In the new CGI tease for Greymoor, it's proof that the expansion, which will take players to Skyrim, is shaping up to be one of the most exciting yet. Greymoor will be released on PC on May 26th, and then Xbox One and PlayStation 4 on June 9th.
Okay.
This is going to take place 1,000 years before players visited Skyrim in the Elder Scrolls V game. The new storyline will feature Vampire Lord, a new trial complete with sea giants, and brand new antiquities system, which they don't really go into great detail on that, but it's going to be more lore focused,
right?
And have some exploration built into that. So the game's going to take back, like we said, the game's going to take place in Skyrim. It's going to give a lot of the lore people, experience to go through and look at the dark history of the region, some of that lore that you heard, in the Elder Scrolls 5 game.
That whole game is third person. Is that right?
You can go first person and third person.
You can. Okay.
I think on Elder Scrolls Online it's the same way. It's built in the same manner that the other games were.
Okay.
It's scaled back a little bit because it's such a, you have so many players and things in it. But it's still somewhat of the same experience, just maybe not as fluid because it's an MMO.
Right. It makes sense.
Yeah. So that looked really neat, and kind of wanting to check it out, especially since I played a lot of Skyrim in my day.
What's that game run? Do you know? What's the dollars on that one?
I am not 100% sure. They do a lot of pricing, but for the actual expansion, they don't have it listed on here, but I can look it up here in a bit. Once we're done.
You can go to your next one. I'll look it up while you're going.
Mm-hmm. So this is kind of a feel-good story. I had mentioned earlier that in gaming, age is just a number. Well, this is true for this woman. A Japanese woman who built a cult following online with her video game skills has been recognized as the world's oldest YouTube gamer. She is 90 years old, if you're wondering.
Nice.
Her name is, I'm going to kill this name. Here we go. Hamako Mori, known as Gamer Grandma, to her 250,000 YouTube subscribers, started gaming 39 years ago.
Nice.
Her YouTube channel launched in 2015, and she posts up to 4 videos a month.
Nice. I think I remember you bringing her up and some kind of story before.
Well, that was the Skyrim Grandma.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, this is somebody different.
This is the oldest YouTube gamer.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, what's the Skyrim Grandma? You're right.
Yeah. So, So she now counts Grand Theft Auto as the series among one of her favorites.
Really?
And she is officially in the Guinness Book of World Records for the oldest YouTube gamer. She also maintains a sharp sense of humor in her videos. With one dubbed Elder, plays Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. In 90-year-old Grandma plays Dauntless, which has more than 3 million views. Mori blows out candles on her birthday cake before vlogging her take on the monster battling game. And this is what she says in quotes, "I'm going to play Dauntless today. After I started playing this, it was so much fun and I couldn't stop. I can't look at any other games. It's all about this one. Sometimes I end up playing until 2 a.m.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
It is.
So when we're like, oh, we're tired and we're old. No. Gamer Grandma has us beat.
Yep. We're just out of shape.
Yep.
we need to learn from her, the old guru.
Now, if you're wondering, of course, she has a large collection of different consoles over the decades. The first one she owned was a Cassette Vision, which was released in Japan on July 30th, 1981. We weren't even born yet. Yep, she said it looked like so much fun, and I thought it's not fair if only children played it. So there you go.
Okay, Elder Scrolls is a subscription-based model, just like World of Warcraft, right? It is players. It says players who currently subscribe to the Elder Scrolls. There is a free play period in the beginning, so you can test it out, looks like. And then you're going to be paying $14.99 a month. So
does it have
a yearly?
Actual, do you still have to purchase the games though? Like with WoW, you have to purchase each individual game.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Expansion as they come out. So like Greymoor would probably, if it was WoW, it'd be like a $45 game. And then you still pay your subscription.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll pull it up as we're going here, and I'll try to give some more details.
Okay, well, this next one you're really going to want to hone in on because you're going to be excited. We kind of discussed it in private last week, but you didn't announce it, I don't think.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
On the preface of the launch coming out.
Yep.
So here we go. Mafia Trilogy. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Mafia Trilogy. If you're into Mafia games like me, And Ryan, then you're going to love it. You're going to gobble it up. So here's the full details of the Mafia Trilogy. It was announced by 2K, which was yesterday, and they're going to partly release with the launch of the definitive editions of Mafia 2 and Mafia 3 across PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Google Stadia.
Nice.
It's been revealed that the trilogy also includes Mafia Definitive Edition. This is going to be a bottom-up remake of 2K's Czech's 2002 open-world cult classic, rebuilt by Hangar 13 in the same engine as Mafia 3, but this part of the bundle isn't out until August 28th. They say here in quotes, nearly 20 years after the Mafia series started, we now have an amazing opportunity to introduce this beloved game to a new generation of players and give longtime fans a chance to relive Tommy's story with the stellar modern presentation, as well as new story elements and gameplay features.
That sounds good. I'm excited for that.
The Mafia 2 Definitive Edition will be a 4K remaster of the 2010 title, and then Mafia 3 Definitive Edition is a reintroduction to Hangar 13's 2016 current-gen game, featuring all previously released DLC alongside the base campaign. All three titles are available to purchase separately, but those who either pre-order Mafia Definitive Edition or pick up Mafia's Trilogy will have access to the exclusive DLC when the former releases later in the summer, including special outfits, vehicles, weapons, weapon skins. Additionally, if you already own Mafia 2 or Mafia 3, you'll receive a free upgrade to the new definitive editions, while customers who own the combination of titles will receive special reduced prices, offers to complete the trilogy via in-game menus within each of the Mafia titles. If you want to know more, you can go over to 2K's website and check it out.
Nice.
I'm really pumped. Just going to throw it out there. For me, as far as Mafia games, the original Mafia that was released in 2002, the best Mafia game I've ever played.
Oh, yeah, I think Mafia, and I liked Mafia 2. I did not get to play Mafia 3. That's when I was out of the gaming scene and trapped in no man's land still, right before I moved over here.
Yeah.
Had no internet and all that. But I've heard it's good. Haven't played it, so I can't chime in. But yeah, 1 and 2 were both good. Me and you loved 1. You know, it was just an amazing game.
Yeah, it was. The way it was just something that, it wasn't the most polished game, and there were definitely bugs and glitches in the game itself. But the way they built that 1930s vibe and the whole atmosphere of that game was perfect. And then the seriousness that they took into the detail, like the fact that you had to keep your car filled up with gas. If you're in a car chase and you're going on E, you'd run out of gas. Have to fight your way out of a fight, or I think they were the first game that I ever played that actually you would die if you crashed your vehicle. Like if you were in a high-speed chase and just ran into something, it was like instant death, killed you. So it made you kind of follow the rules of the road and had that realism
you couldn't just kind of play around like it's just a kiddie game as much. And
it just had a really good story. And it sounds like they're going to be faithful to the old one, but also expand on it a little bit. So we'll see what they do with it. But if it's anything like the first one, to be able to play it in all its updated glory will be very amazing.
Man, I don't see anything about buying the game. I'm even on
it might just be subscription.
I'm on Elder Scrolls site. You can buy it by 3 months for $13.99 a month. You can buy it by the year for $12.99 a month, or 6 months for $12.99 a month, and by the year for $11.67 a month.
Okay.
Now, each one of those packages come with extra crowns, and then there's one that's what you call a plus member, an ESO plus member. And that looks like it gives you a lot of stuff. Like, geez, I don't even see
extra.
I don't see the
stuff?
Yeah, I don't see the price on that one for some reason. But it says that it gives you unlimited storage for crafting materials. Gives you 650 crowns per month. I don't know what that means. That's for mounts, pets, and more. I guess it's money, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Extra bank space, double the bank space, 10% increased to gold and expenses acquisition,
Mm-hmm.
10% increase to crafting, double furnishings and collectibles, double currency cap, and exclusive access to unique Crown Store deals. So, dang, that's a lot to offer. That kind of usually bugs me. I don't like it when they give you all that good stuff for paying more. That's not my vibe.
Yeah. And they do a little of that, and I think that's just that is a different model that they're using there, you know. And I think with WoW, a lot of it's cosmetic usually. So, I don't know. We may have to test the waters, at least do the free trial.
Well, I think even all that stuff they named on here is kind of cosmetic. I mean, you get the benefit of being able to store more stuff and things like that.
Crafting is the only thing that's really an advantage.
Yeah, and that's just the ability to hold it. You're not getting crafting material. Mm-hmm. You're getting the ability to hold more of it, which that is an advantage, but not like, some kind of weapon that's hard to find or some kind of ability that's hard to get or something like that. That would drive me crazy even more. But yeah, it's on the cusp for me. That's what do you call that? Play to win. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of that. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that in my games either, especially whenever the incentive is, hey, if you don't pay, you're not going to be up to speed. Meh, I'm out.
Right.
At that point, I'm turned off. So sometimes I think video games kind of go a little bit too much into that route for me.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Personally. But that's all I have on the news. Some cool releases coming. And I think, things are just going to get better as we get closer and closer through the summer. You're going to see some summer sales, and then you're going to see the October, November range where games just explode. You have all your buys for the year. So, but
before we shift over, I was going to talk about. I just made me think about, and I have no clue why. So don't judge me, guys. I was thinking about the value of what you're paying for the extras that you're getting, and then my mind just went to something that I had bought for my daughter and how I thought it was just a really good value. And so now I'm going to talk about it real quick.
Okay.
This was it's a robotics kit that they sell. I don't think it's at Walmart. It's on walmart.com. So you can order it and it'll ship to your Walmart for free. I think it was $21 and it came with 3 different robots to build. One of the robots can be 7 different robots. So he can you can reposition his pieces to make him into a different kind of space, from a rover to a like a standing robot to like a little go-kart to a satellite to a ship to whatever. He does all these different things.
Okay.
And then and he's solar powered or battery powered, and it comes with a little solar panel. Then they got another little mini robot that's powered by salt. And then there's another robot that's a spider that's powered by AAA batteries. All of that for $21. You don't get that kind of that's a lot. Of course, you gotta build it. Yes, like a model. I get that, but that's the fun, right? So you're learning about circuitry and science. And I know a lot of gamers out there, like gaming and electronics, and this is right down the alley. If your kid's into that kind of stuff and you maybe build computers, this would be kind of a cool thing to play around with. I mean, for $21, that's going to give us probably 5-6 different sessions of, hey, let's build something. You know what I mean? And it'll be new each time. And we just built the spider. That's all we built so far, and just had a freaking blast building it. It was easy.
So it comes with three robots that come with parts to build. It's not like a Lego type deal where you're going to mix and match.
No. The one is kind of mix and match. The one that does 7 different ones.
Okay.
Right. You can reposition them and use the parts for different purposes. That's that one. But they still give you a design. This is what you're going to build.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they tell you how to build each one. That's how to hook up the wiring and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep, it was cool. That's for sure.
Very creative process.
Yep. My daughter's 7, and it was not anywhere near beyond her understanding. Of course, she's into science and stuff like that quite a bit. So she understands circuitry and whatnot. But even if your kid doesn't, some of the parts are a little hard to clip together, but the way they're put together is very simple. So it's not like you don't need screwdrivers. It's not complicated. It's like Legos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
And so, really I think a kid that is good at Legos or into building, that's about, maybe 4 or so, could probably handle it. They'll need more hand-on. But if your kid's 6, 7, oh yeah, it's right in the wheelhouse.
Take off and go with it. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember getting I think it was a truck. It was like a model truck you could build, but it was a truck.
Yeah.
And I got it halfway built, but and then we got busy doing some other stuff. I think with sports, and then I just never went back to it. But heck of a frame. The wheels on that frame. They worked.
Now you're talking about one of those actual models where you had to use the glue and had like a billion pieces.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I did some of those when I was a kid too. I did a couple spaceships, and I did a 67 GTO, which was my favorite car. And then you paint them and stuff like that. And that was a lot of fun, but they do take a ton of time. You got to do it out in the garage or whatever, because the fumes will make you high as a kite.
Yeah. I think mine was the cheaper version.
This is just clipped together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And probably like, for example, I think the Spider probably had 30 pieces.
That's not bad.
To where like a model car probably has like 200. It's just, those models are much more detailed.
Oh yeah.
Now, I don't think a 6-year-old could probably build it on their own. That's not what I mean. I just mean they could handle each step if you told them what to do. If they're reading the directions and you're there to guide them, they can put it together. To where younger than that, you're probably going to be building it and they're going to be watching. That's what I meant by that. Yeah. Yeah. But for $21, shoot. Get it, put it away for a rainy day. Kids like, what do we do? Boom, we're building a robot. Yeah, that's cool.
I like it. Kids just have cooler things to play with these days. Kind of jealous,
Yeah, that's what you think. And then my friends from church, Arnold's, they bought Rory a walkie-talkie, just a regular old walkie-talkie, for her birthday, and it's been like her favorite thing. I mean, she just freaking loves it. And it's like, we have phones. You use a cell phone 24/7.
You can FaceTime your friend Claire.
Yeah, and she does. Right. And the walkie-talkie was still like mind-blowing. I mean, she just loved it because she could go outside. I could be inside, and we're like the police. Over. We're all we're saying over every time we do it.
That's what it is. It's that.
Yeah, we're investigating stuff out in the yard, and she just thinks it's cool. Hey, if I'm in the car and mom's going on her walk, I keep the walkie-talkie. If I need her, I don't have to freak out. I just yell, hey, Mom, something's going on. Mom comes over and helps me out in the car because she'll be locked in the car, while Mom's walking at the lake. There's a little walkway right there at the lake where you can see the car, but you can't hear. You know what I mean? And so usually Rory will just like scream out the window or something if she needs her. So she thinks that's real cool. And then, of course, she tries to get her little sister, to talk on it and stuff. She never does. Like, she'll be making so much noise, and as soon as you put the little walkie-talkie up to her, she's silent. She gets frustrated by that. Yeah, like what is this? Yeah, it's they're camo, purple rainbow or purple camo. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And so they're still girly and stuff, but yeah, she's just jacked about them. We're gonna pay police. I didn't even give her the police idea. You just know when you start hearing it. It's like, oh, that sounds like police. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's good. That is good. Well, awesome. Well, we want some more stories, but we want some Final Fantasy stories. So I'm going to let you share your tips and tricks.
I'm ready.
In a world of Easter eggs and cheats, it's time for what they don't want you to know.
All right, guys. We're here with the tips and tricks of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Believe it or not, it is different than the original Final Fantasy. It's got some adjustments, some modernization, and some things like that done to it that make it play out a little differently than it used to. Also, a lot of people, it's their first time playing any Final Fantasies. I think it's going to be my first Final Fantasy. It looks very good. I have not played it yet. So I was looking up some tips and tricks and some videos on kind of what's the game like, and it just looks really good. So I'll probably pick this up when I get some extra money. Maybe me and Clint can do some playthrough on Parsec or something like that, because it is not co-op, which usually I stay away from non-co-op, but it's really just known to be an epic game. a really great adventure. It's a long game with a lot of detail and a lot of story. And me and Clint both like those kind of games. And I don't think either one of us have ever gotten to Final Fantasy, right? Just happens to be one we never did.
I think I rented it a long time ago, like the original series, and just didn't know. I wasn't quite old enough to get into the strategy of it, right?
Yeah. Well, what's very different about Final Fantasy from what I've looked at and people that I've talked to last couple of years is it's not like, say you play Resident Evil and it's kind of like, well, that's what Resident Evil is, right? Mm-hmm. They may change the way the game plays out or, how scary one is versus the other, but it's the same game. Mm-hmm. To where Final Fantasy has kind of been all over the place over the years. Mm-hmm. Like from its early days to later days, it's like some of them are nothing like the other ones. They're completely the structure of the game, all that kind of stuff. And so there's people that love Final Fantasy and just completely skip certain ones because it's not the kind of Final Fantasy they want.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But there's followers of both kinds, or maybe I think there's maybe 3 different kinds. And people can correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, it's not like slight variances in the game. It's completely different
style.
Yeah. So you may play one Final Fantasy and be like, I don't get the game, and then play another one and be like, freaking awesome game. Even though they're the same, which we're not used to that, right? That doesn't usually. We may say, I didn't really like Resident Evil 5 because of the kind of gameplay, but not because of the kind of game. If that makes sense, I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
But so this one sounds really good, looks really good. They've spent a lot of time on the graphics and all that kind of jazz, and it just looks like a beautiful game. If you're into unique art style, and I really like it when games. Me and Clint were just talking about this the other day, where they will push realism, but they don't actually make it real. They make it real within that game. Does that make sense? So you feel like, man, these graphics are very sharp. These graphics are very smooth and good to look at, but it doesn't feel like reality. They've created their own reality in the way things are supposed to look. That's how I see Final Fantasy, especially this new one when you watch the videos and stuff on it. So we're going to do a quick run through on some tips and things like that. Some of them may seem kind of basic, and some of them I think are probably great tips, and we'll just kind of see what we think on them. Okay?
Sounds good to me.
Tip number 1 is smash every box you see. Okay? These are going to be basically boxes that have things in them that you get. It says right from the beginning, after the first few fights that you have, the game is going to prompt you about what they call Shinra. I'm probably saying that wrong. Maybe Shinra boxes, right? That you can smash. You'll notice these boxes throughout the entire adventure. And if you ever spot any, make sure that you smash them. Not only will they often have some MP you can recover, but it enables you to perform certain moves and spells. But the boxes can also contain Moogle medals, which will help, will come into play later in the game. It's something that you'll need as you progress further in the game. The more medals you can get a hold of, the better. It says, I always quite enjoy smashing up boxes anyways, just because it's fun to do. And the Final Fantasy VII Remake rewards you for smashing lots of boxes. So keep an eye out, smash every one. Sometimes you do find out in some games that you kind of you skip past things, right? Borderlands was kind of that way, to where you got these little pile of bones or different things like that, and a lot of people will skip past those. And then next thing you realize, you break one open, or one of them little graveyard deals, and it's like freaking super sweet elemental gun.
Right.
And you're like, oh crap, how many of these have I passed? They're saying, you're not going to get anything super epic, but they are things that are going to have a big impact on the game later in this game. So don't skip them just because you may have busted a bunch and just got MP from it, but then you're going to bust some other ones, and you're going to get those medals and wish you had not skipped the last 5, basically. So knock them out. Okay. Another one that happens a lot in games, including games like Borderlands, like I just mentioned, same kind of style, is you always get all these main missions, right? And then you're going to get side missions along with it. Final Fantasy VII is the same way. You're going to get these side missions, and the side missions are going to be lit up a different color than the rest. And a lot of people think, well, I'll just skip these side missions. Well, the game is designed to where if you skip the side missions, your XP is going to be maybe lacking when you move into certain areas of the game or against certain bosses.
Mhm.
And not only that, there's different things that you get from these side missions that can help you, like different weapons and rewards that you're not going to get if you never go to those side missions, right?
Okay.
And so some games, I've definitely played games where the side missions are just nothing, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I would actually say that would be like Grand Theft Auto 5, right? There's a lot of side missions in Grand Theft Auto 5 that really don't have any relevance to your game. They're not going to hurt you. They're fun if you want to do them,
Right.
but if you don't do them, no big deal.
Sometimes
this is
they're
basically
just collection, like collect this amount of stuff, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is saying, the difference of the side quests. The differences between the side quests is limited, and in the chapters that have them, they don't vary much. Then they do vary between each chapter, if that makes sense. So if within the chapter you're in, they're going to be a lot alike. But if you do them all, you can unlock special scenes or a discovery, and even get your hands on some useful materia and weapons.
Okay.
So definitely some things.
So it sounds like with this, they definitely took the approach. Now, I never played Final Fantasy VII, the original, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like they're definitely taking everything in this game counts, as far as it's going to have an impact on your in game.
Right. It says that probably not. Probably by the time you get to the very end, a lot of times these games, you kind of circle back and you end up being okay. It's more like when you first start progressing to stronger enemies is what it sounds like on this one. It says the game does allow you to skip the odd jobs if you just want to keep making your way through the main story, but it's absolutely worth putting the time in to complete them. It's not one of them where they're not worth anything, but it's also not one where you're just going to be screwed if you don't.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Next one on here is going to be for the quests. Sometimes on the map on here, if you're new to Final Fantasy VII, sometimes it's hard to find out where you need to go. You can see the objective on the map, but how do I get there, or what would be the first step along this mission, I guess can be hard to figure out sometimes. It's a little confusing. It says one of the best ways to figure that out is to actually go back to the quest giver, which to me I find odd, and I wouldn't think about that, because usually whatever the quest giver says is what's there for you to read when you click on the quest, right? So if you're playing Borderlands, going back to the quest giver is not going to tell you anything, right? That would actually help you with the quest. It's all going to be there saved in your little data bank. This is not the same. So if you didn't pay attention the first time, you may end up kind of not knowing what to do when the quest actually comes.
Okay.
So sometimes it says what you need to do is go back to the quest giver, and he's going to give you some hints that'll actually help you with that
So you have to
specific
pay
quest.
attention to being more engaged with this kind of game. When you're in it, you're in it.
Which I thought that's kind of interesting. You know, that's a different twist. I don't know if it would bug me or if I would kind of like it because it causes a little bit more immersion, right?
I think with you, it
you
bug
into a
you
little bit more.
because you're like you're easily distracted.
Yeah,
Especially if we're playing it together. You'd be like, so this one time there was a sword. Oh, wait, what did he just say? I just missed it. What the freak? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. Just click on the mission. It doesn't say, oh,
We're
that
screwed.
sucks. We got to go all the way back to him. Yeah, I could see it bothering me for sure. It says talking to them multiple times will provide clues for each location your goal can be found. Oh, yeah, so it's definitely, even the first time you click on them is not going to tell you everything. You want to click on them again and click on them again. And it's going to give you different clues to different steps of that mission. That's a lot. I don't know.
That is a lot. That's
I don't know on that. So pay attention. I don't want to say take notes because no gamer's ever going to take notes, but take note in your head.
Or Google it.
Yeah, it's true.
In today's world. When we were young, you couldn't do that kind of thing, see? So you just had to power through.
Yep. And when our kids are old, they're going to say, just jump on TikTok. I'm sure there's this 15-second tutorial. And you're going to be like, what?
Or they'll just say, hit that little button in the back of your head there.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You just automatically search it up in your head already because you're connected to the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully there is a button, right, that actually allows us to say, no, I don't want to be connected at this moment.
Yep.
I'm doing personal things with the wife. Right.
There you go. Yep. Good old foot massage.
Yeah. Yeah. Good old foot massage. That's exactly what I was talking about. Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
For clarifying that for the listeners. Clip. We're talking
Step,
about
clip,
TikTok. Tip number 4, guys. Make sure you use different weapons. Okay. The original Final Fantasy, with your main character Cloud, he's got his Buster sword, which is like that big old sword everybody recognizes when they think of Final Fantasy, right?
Buster.
Yep. That sword is kind of like your go-to, and it's easy to think that's the sword you always want to use because it's in the old one. It was kind of, from what I understand. This has definitely got way more variety in weapons and way more like upgrades and things like that going on within your weaponry and within the building of your character.
Mm-hmm.
And so this says not all weapons are made for all characters, if that makes sense, because there's multiple characters that you can play with.
Okay.
But each character is good at certain skills, and within that range, there's not one weapon that's the best. You can kind of hone the weapon that fits your style with the character, if that makes sense. So you want to try different things out, check them out. And that kind of brings me to the next one, which is kind of tip 5, to keep upgrading your weapons. Okay. It says that they've got a system to where you're actually going to get points when your character upgrades, that you're also going to get points in your weapons. The weapons are going to have like a natural upgrade to their skill level, if I'm understanding it right, that go with you. And even if you pick up a new weapon, it's going to retro update to, whatever you've done that would normally upgrade you in that weapon, even if you just picked it up. But there are upgrades to do to your weapon, not just leveling, if that makes sense. Okay. And so these
like little add-ons and stuff.
Yeah, and you're going to use what they call SP or skill points, right? We all know what that is. You've got that in Borderlands or anything else, and you'll take those skill points and you can use those to actually upgrade that weapon, whatever weapons you like to use. Make sure you're upgrading them regularly because they can have some huge advantages, and you can upgrade a weapon to really fit your fighting style too. So you upgrade it in a certain direction. So it'd be like a skill tree, but you're going to see that play out through your weapons rather than just yourself. And so you upgrade these, and they're going to help build your way of playing in the way of fighting that you want to. And it's kind of like Borderlands. You could easily get kind of deep into Borderlands and then forget, right? Crap, I got 5 skill points over here. If I had used those, that last battle would have been so much easier because I could have upgraded this and that. That's the same thing they're saying. Don't forget about them. Make sure you go in and check and upgrade whenever you can, so you don't waste time not having it. Some of your abilities, which they call materia, the things that you get throughout the game. One of them that you get is called the assess materia, and basically, I know it's going to be complicated for you guys, but you're going to use it to assess the situation. So that's what the assess does, is assesses. You turn it on. You basically use it to look at different spots on the enemies or look at different enemies. And because you're using it, it's going to expose different weaknesses or different things. It'd be like taking a closer look, right? You're kind of be like searching the room.
Okay. So this one takes hit them in the back, they're weaker than hit them in the front.
Exactly. Or, yep. Okay. Or this certain character is weak to this kind of attack. Even it gets specific in that way when you're moving into a new area, and then all of a sudden you look over here and you've been using this kind of spell, but you realize that kind of a thing does not work. Maybe this certain creature is really weak to a melee attack with your sword, right? Or something like that. So it's going to give you some kind of, you're going to learn something by looking, and not just by looking once. It says when it comes to bosses, it's one of the best ways to beat them is to assess. You want to use that skill a lot and have it ready to use and easy to use. A lot of people underuse it. They say when you're fighting bosses, you can find out not just what area is weak, but if you assess at the right time, you'll find out this is the time to strike. And now you know when he does that kind of movement, or maybe he's charging up for an attack or different things like that, that's when it's the time to hit him, and there's this certain spot that's exposed, but you don't necessarily get all that from one assessment.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And so it's kind of like you're assessing as you go during the fight when it comes to bosses.
Continually assessing.
Right. And so you
say assess, and it kind of, I don't want to get too off topic here, but we've been talking about Elder Scrolls, right? And I remember playing, I think it started with Oblivion, but they carried it over into Skyrim, which is the speech skill. And I guess for some reason, I don't know why, but it triggered the whole I like lying in video games. Like anything where I can just, They're like,
Yep.
hey, I'm not going to tell you. Go do this for me first. And then you do the lie. And it's like, I think you're beautiful. Next thing you know, oh, okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
here's the item. You got to go get it now.
Mm-hmm.
For the thing.
Yep. Yep.
Live out my evil fantasy, in my video games.
Yeah, you know what? You say that, and I think I haven't played Final Fantasy at all. I don't know how much. Is it kind of like that? I would almost guess so, even though none of these tips mention that. I would guess that it is maybe a response kind of game because it's the kind of RPG it is, right? And it's kind of makes me think of like what's that Disney one? Something Hearts, Kingdom Hearts. It's that way, right? You interact, and there's different choices that you make, and then it goes from there, just like Skyrim. I'm not sure if this game is that way or not, but I kind of would expect it to be. Now you got me thinking. But yeah, so
there you go.
Yep. And so yes, that's what you need to be doing in this game is thinking by using your assess. Okay. And so you're going to use that to figure out all kinds of things.
You want to assess that like Ryan assesses his pizza.
Yep. It says not only does this help with help you from a tactical standpoint, but also helps you unlock more materia. So I guess you're going to see things that you wouldn't see because you're looking closer. Okay. Look at it. Just look at it. You guys know who I'm talking about.
Would you look at
if
that?
if you're older and you were into YouTube 8 years ago. The more you use it, the more battle intel you're going to gather. Pretty much the stuff I was saying. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. Nope. I think that's it. The last tip that I've got on here, and I've actually got some other ones that I wrote down that I was going to look over here just to see if there's any I didn't want to skip. But the last one on here that I thought was good and worth saying is always check the vending machines. It's the final tip on here. It says throughout your journey in Midgar, you'll often come across a bench and vending machine. These little break areas are incredibly useful for restoring your party's MP and health. But it's a way for you to unlock music and get some items for a marked down price. Okay, so you can find good deals on them. So yeah, even that makes me think of the vending machines at Borderlands. I know I keep relating this to Borderlands, but a lot of it kind of makes me. It's a whole different kind of art and a different kind of game.
It's all RPG. It's still got RPG elements.
Yeah, very much. And there's not a lot of I always like those kind of games, but there's not that many of those kind of games that are co-op. So I haven't played that many of those kind of games. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
The ones that are co-op, I fall in love with because I get to play them with friends. The ones that aren't co-op are probably just as good. I just don't ever play them because I play games with friends instead, right? So this definitely has elements that make me think, this is definitely a game I would enjoy. I know one of the tips that I wrote down was real good. Let me see here on my list here. A lot of people use dodge in this game. There is no way in this game to actually avoid all damage, if that makes sense. So like in some games, if an enemy strikes and you're executing a dodge, right? Well, you're not going to get hit. In this, you are still going to get hit. There's no, frame at which you can hit it and completely escape damage in that sense. If he strikes at you and you're within range, he's still going to damage you. So it says it's better to use running and dodging, which will actually help you completely get out of the way of the attack altogether, than it is to just use dodge and you think you're not getting damaged, but you are. It's just a little less, and it'll catch up to you.
Okay.
And then it says also, let me see here. It says it's better to try to learn how to rely on your guarding, which I'm guessing would be blocking, right? And different kind of blocks and things like that within the game. And if you get better at your blocks, that's better than dodging and trying to get out of the strike is what it's saying. Another one was for if you're using an item one at a time, it's super slow. So if say you're using a 25% heal or something like that. I'm making this up, guys who know the game. I get it. Don't trash me for it. But I'm sure not every time you heal it's 100%. None of these kind of games work that way. So if you're using a heal or something like that, if you hold L1 while having that item selected, it'll just continue repeating the use of that item. And so you don't have to go back into the menu, select it again, and do it again. And so if you're in between fighting this group and there's another group coming to fight, this is a much, much faster way to regenerate or to do whatever it is you're trying to do out of your menu, is to hold L1 and to keep that item ready to go. It also says another quick tip. This is probably my last one. Is, and I never would have guessed this because I've never come across this on any game, but when you are going through your when you're scrolling through your list of items, right, things to pick, usually you can use your direction pad, your D-pad, or you can use your left joystick, right? That's common for all these games. This actually says, but if you use both, it goes way faster. I don't know why. I don't know why they made it that way.
You know, they used to do that in, like, I think Nintendo 64.
Really?
Like if you're scrolling through menus, you know, you click the analog left and the D-pad left.
Okay.
And it would go a little bit faster. I do remember that.
Yeah, I didn't see. I wasn't a big N64 guy, so I don't remember that at all. But yep, that's what the set is doing. So it says very useful when managing your materia. So you can switch stuff fast and on the fly. It's much, much faster than using just one if you use them both together. Probably a lot of people playing that game that just heard that and they're like, no, really? You know, and then you're going to go try it and be like, oh, crap.
Super long.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's it, guys. I'm going to scroll through here real quick on the tips, but I do not see any other tips that I thought were like, you know, this one's got to be said.
Right.
You can hit L2. You probably know this one. You can hit L2. That cycles through your mini map, your compass, or you can make it where you have nothing up on your HUD screen up on the top right. That's you usually have some kind of option like that in most games, so I'm sure you probably know that one. And yeah, that's it. That's it. The rest of these that I wrote down were on that pre-made list that I was reading just a minute ago. But it sounds like a good game. Usually if I get into reading tips and tricks on a game and I watch some videos on the game and I'm still kind of like, I'm intrigued or more intrigued, usually it's a decent game. Usually it's a game worth checking out and playing. Because usually there's some things I'm reading and I run into real quickly that I go, that's not me. I don't like that.
Right.
But nothing about this game did that. It's a different style that I'm used to playing. Kind of like Clint said, I never got into this style of RPG really. But it looks beautiful and it looks like it's a really full, in-depth game, and I usually like that. So something I probably will put on my wish list for when I have a little extra cash.
And that is, guys, if you want to buy that, that is a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Really?
There's several different pricing on, like Walmart right now. They have it for $49.94, so you can get a little bit cheaper online through them if you want to order it.
There's probably people out there listening going, Ryan, you know you only have PC, and this is a PS4 exclusive.
Yeah, but you have friends that have PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I do. But that does suck because I didn't realize that.
Oh, there you go. Sorry about that. Sorry I had to rain on your parade.
Looks
like a really good game, though.
It'll be in PS5 too, and you know we may go PS5.
Yeah,
you know you're gonna. I know you enough. You're gonna.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do yet because.
Yeah, you are. You're not gonna get it right away. You're gonna get it though.
Yeah, I'll get something. You know, I can't go without having the latest console.
A console. Yeah, you can't.
I'm just spoiled.
Oh, saying you're not sure between that and Xbox yet. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a little bit and then decide.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I hear you.
Because here's the thing, I have almost everything I want on PC anyway.
Right.
So I'll be protected by not missing out. It's not like I'm buying games as they come off the shelves anymore anyway. With my life, with family. So there you go. I did want to give a shout out real quick to Click Gaming. Wanted to basically give you guys an update on their tournament listing right now that they have. If you're ever wondering where you can find their tournaments, you can go over to battlefly.com /Click Gaming. That's all one word. And you can look at their tournament listing. But right now, they have a pre-made teams Halo 2 doubles tournament, Team Slayer. It's a $20 prize. It's free to enter.
Okay. I was just talking to a young guy that works with me about getting in on some of these, and he was like, keep me updated. And I was like, what do you mean keep you updated? I just gave you the details. I just gave you what site to go to. Go in and join.
Yeah.
Don't be that guy. If you want to play, get on and play.
Yeah, I think people think it's like, oh, they're putting it together. No, you just go on here, register, follow the instructions, get in the Discord, and play.
That's it. Yeah, it's nothing complicated, guys. This is an easy, relaxed group. These are people that we know that are just like us. They just want to play. It's not going to be some tight-wad group of people that you got to like get in with them to get in the tournament. It's nothing like that. If there's an opening in the tournament, you just go and you join and you play. That's it. Yeah, they want as many people as possible. Yeah,
they're all about building the community. That's what they want.
That's why we've partnered with these guys, because they're not pretentious and those kind of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're a young guy or an old guy and you've always wanted to say, I wonder how I do, and some people that are actually carrying, of course, these aren't pros, it's $20. Sometimes it's $100, things like that. You know what I mean? But you got a real opportunity to make a little money and have some fun. You're playing anyways. Why would you not join the tournament?
I think one of these days I just may join one and just try it on like a game that I
of course it's free,
and see where I go.
Yes.
And then I'm like, hey Ryan, I won $20. How'd you win $20? I got real lucky.
No, we're gonna play 4v4 Warzone. We're gonna bring Justin McGinnis in. If you guys haven't watched him, he does live streaming and stuff like that. We'll probably have him and his cousin on as a guest here soon. They're just what do you call that? They do Twitch and that kind of stuff. They're real gamers, they're not dad gamers like us.
Yeah, and you can find them over at you can find Gotti, GOTTII _X, and then you got Brazzi TV. That's BRASSIITTV over on the Twitch.
Yeah,
and actually. Their streaming programs wanting to sponsor the show, so you may be hearing a little bit more from them in the near future.
They're good guys too. What was I even saying? I was saying something about them.
I was promoting Click Gaming tournaments, and we got
and that's what. It wasn't off track. I was saying we're going to get Ryan Martin, who's a great gaming friend of mine. He's one of those guys that makes me not be able to blame my age anymore, right? Because he's my same age, but he's a beast. And then we get Justin or Rowdy, and then me and you, and we play 4v4 Warzone. We've got a chance, seriously, because those two dudes are beasts, and they can carry me and you. We're good listeners, guys. We're good listeners.
Yeah. So I guess what you're saying is Hunter's internet's still going to be down, because I didn't hear him in that equation.
No, actually, we'd have to. The reason why I said that is because I'm more important than Hunter, right? And so if only we can't
you need to be boosted. I get what you're saying here.
Well, what I'm saying is we can't bring three of us. We can't bring three of us and just one of the elites. That's not enough to carry us. We suck that bad.
Okay.
So it's got to be two elites and two of us. I can rotate with Hunter. You can rotate with Hunter. Whatever. That doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
But it's not going to work if there's three of us, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
We could do it for fun, but I think the chance of winning sales at that point.
Well, we'll just sit in the Discord server, and when we rotate, we'll just screen share, and then the other guy can watch and see what the other dude's doing, So anyway, I don't want to get too far off, because they're still waiting on a date for this.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. So this is a pre-made tournament, Halo 2 Doubles Team Slayer, $20 prize. That's going to be May 23rd, 2020 at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard. You've also got a free to enter 1v1 Fortnite box fight. That's going to be a $5 prize, May 24th, 2020. That's going to be at 1:30 p.m. You've also got Apex Legends Xbox One tournament. That's going to be 3v3s. It's $30 prize. You need to have pre-made teams. That's going to be May 24th at 5:30 p.m. They've also got a Valorant tournament, 5v5, $100 prize. That's going to be pre-made teams. That's May 30th, 2020 at 11:30 a.m. And then we're getting into the Call of Duty territory.
Okay.
Looks like a lot of Call of Duty stuff's going to be going down in June, especially that early part of June. We've got 3v3 Call of Duty, and it's going to be free to enter with prizes. They've got, that's going to be June 4th, 2020, 5:30 p.m. You've also got a free to enter Warzone 2v2. That's going to be June 6th, 2020, 1:30 p.m. And then paid to enter, you got a 2v2 gunfight. with a $100 plus bonus. And that's going to be pre-made teams as well. Anything that's teams, most of it's all pre-made anyway.
Pre-made teams, yeah. Just because it's online. When Click Gaming does like regular tournaments, like once this whole COVID thing's gone, you can almost always, they'll partner you up with some other singles. When you show up to the tournament and play, you can call them, make sure, but almost always that's been the case. On the online, I think that's just a harder thing to do. To partner up the singles and stuff like that, because they need to sign up ahead of time, everything.
Yeah, that one's going to be June 14th, and that's going to be at 1:30 p.m. You've also got a free to enter Michael Myers Night Vision mode, $25 prize, 1v1. Sounds like our kind of night right there. That's going to be June 14th, 7 o'clock p.m. And then a free to enter 2v2 gunfight, $250 prize plus a bonus. That's going to be June 28th. The day after my birthday.
You said, hold on, don't just breeze past that. Did you say $250?
$250 prize.
That's a free to enter?
Bonus. That's a free to enter. 2v2 gunfight.
Come on, guys. That's a free to enter tournament with a $250 prize. That's what I make a week.
And then you can donate it to Clint for his birthday, because it's the day after my birthday.
Hey, it's for reals. If you're been thinking about playing some tournaments, this is a great way to jump in and say, hey, do I have any chance at any of this? Or am I a recreational, think I'm a good gamer? This is perfect. This is perfect for you to jump in and test your skills. Don't forget Game Gym. Also, we're not going to read all those right now, but Click Gaming works with Game Gym, and they've got stuff listed every weekend too. It's the same exact thing, because Click Gaming is setting them up.
Yeah, and they're also in there with Game Sharks. That's Sharks with a Z. That company also, I mean, they're all kind of a conglomerate, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they work together.
A group. So we've also got free to win Nintendo Switch. Details inside. That's a 1v1. That's June 30th, 2021 p.m. And what game is that for?
That's
right here. It says free Nintendo Switch giveaway. So you can register and win a Nintendo Switch. You'll be contacted by an Army recruiter. You can let them know. You can easily say that you're interested and don't want to join, and that's what the minimum requirement is to win it. So,
okay, the other one too for $250. That one is also with the new deal that they're working. That one's supported by the Army. So that's who has pledged that $250 and is set up basically as a sponsor. If I understand right, these are basically sponsors for tournaments. Yep. And
having more of those.
Yep.
And it is official.
You guys know, some of these bigger ones like that you'll see, there's even bigger ones than $250. Not all of them are free to enter. I think all these the Army ones right now are free to enter because they're just trying to attract people and try to promote things. And like you said, you can join the tournament. Doesn't mean you're going to join the Army.
Right.
Freak out. But they do want to check with you and see if you're interested. That's for sure.
That's right.
It is for recruiting.
And then XN Jetamind says that the $250 tournament is a sponsorship, but also it'll have a pot increase based on the number of entries. So,
whoa, nice. That's what the bonus is.
That's what the bonus is. So
okay,
that
cool.
could turn out to be a big one.
Can I see the chat and see our live stream? Is that possible, Clint?
Yeah, you just go up to General Podcasts right there under our deal, and that's where they can put in their text, and you can be chatting with people during the podcast.
Oh, and the little live deal goes into a small window.
Yeah. Okay,
perfect. Cool.
Yep. So that's what's going on in the world of Click Gaming, and just awesome guys. Everybody we've met in the esports world so far has just been really friendly, really awesome, and we enjoy growing and learning with them through this whole process. So it's very cool.
Yeah, I think it's because this local group here, it's Oklahoma guys, right? I mean, if you listen to the podcast, we know we got people overseas, and we've got people, on the coast and stuff like that too that listen to the podcast. But Oklahoma is always slightly behind the curve in things that are not as much now. The internet's bigger, right? But we're still behind the curve in some things. And one of the things Oklahoma's behind the curve in, but is actually exploding right now and is pushing hard for it, is esports.
Yep.
Esports, not just tournaments, but we're talking about school teams college teams, scholarships, all that kind of stuff. And because everybody is enthusiastic to bring it here to Oklahoma and bring that, so you don't have to travel to be an esports guy, and you can actually get experience right here locally and build your skill set and actually get rewarded for it. Like I said, for scholarships and things like that. That's why it's actually just a bunch of good guys, because they're kind of like, they're all in
they're
this.
The forefathers
really,
of esports for Oklahoma.
Yeah,
really.
yeah. They're here to promote esports itself. They're not just here to promote themselves. We promote Click Gaming, and we promote these guys, and we talk about them. But the whole reason we got in with Click Gaming is because I loved the enthusiasm that he had for esports. And he opened my mind to some things there. Johnny Weaver over there opened my mind to what kind of increase we're seeing and what's really out there right now for these schools and teams, high schools and all that kind of stuff that are going on. It's all just developing right now, right in front of us. Even the high school, what do you call it?
High school esports.
The group, but the group, there's a thing over it that basically determines what's the rules are and all that kind of stuff. That's just kind of happening. It exists, but it's all new, and it's all, like, what do we have? The OSSAA or whatever it's called over the regular sports. Right. Well, the esports have their own thing because it's brand new.
They're going to have their own collective thing for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oversight
really
committee.
good.
I guess that's what you call that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
matter of fact, I just had a friend of mine today that texted me and said, hey, he works for a school, and his school is thinking about opening up an esports team, and he was wanting to know who can I get in contact with, and how can I, what he has to do the budget for it, and that excites me, because it's like, well, we know somebody.
I don't know who you told him. I'm sure you didn't tell him Johnny Weaver.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
But it's really exciting to see what's happening in esports in Oklahoma and really across the world, because esports is just kind of slowly taking its foothold. You see it in ESPN stuff now, here and there, reporting on this stuff. And so it's really growing. I think you have to get past the stigma of what the older generations think of gaming. But as us gamers are all maturing and, getting on, it's like, hey, yeah, that is a,
Well, we're starting to be the older generation. So that's why you're seeing the shift, I mean, it just is, right? Our kids are young, but by the time our kids become 12, it won't be weird anymore. It won't be thought of as weird that my kid wants a scholarship for esports. Yeah, to college. I'll be thinking, awesome, right? To where the generation right before us, they're on the edge of that. It's kind of, we're in the middle of a shift, We're not old, but we're not young. We're 32, but I think a lot of our audience is near that age too. Yeah, we are. We're prime.
Yeah, in our prime, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you definitely want to check those tournaments out. Like I said, it's free to play. You can go in. I mean, I guarantee you spend more time wasting your time on social media than you would entering a tournament, honing your gaming skills, and possibly making a little cash on the side.
Heck yeah.
Maybe pay for dinner that night, or, if you're good enough in the Army sponsored tournaments, make some big money. So,
well, and what happens is you start doing that and you realize, I'm actually decent. You know what I mean? I'm better than I thought. I'm actually winning some money. Then you start joining some bigger tournaments. Next thing you know, you're making real money playing video games, and you didn't really, it just felt like a dream to you. And then all of a sudden it's real. That's where we're at with esports. That's where we're at with esports in Oklahoma. And we're excited to be part of that movement for sure.
Oh yeah. It's exciting times. Well, it's been a really good show. I think we're at a good stopping point as far as our content goes tonight. We did lose Hunter midway, really right at the beginning, actually. His internet went down. So we're going to save his food segment, his What's Cooking Good Looking, for the next episode.
Okay.
We'll bring it back then. Poor guy. Hopefully he'll get his internet fixed. So, but yeah, if you want to find out more about us, you can check us out over on our website, www.deliriousdadsgaming.com. It has all our podcasts there. And if you want to support the stream, support the show, you can check us out over on Patreon. We have a Patreon account set up. You can go there and donate some money if you have it. If not, we'll still be here for you.
All we can say is give us your cut. You win the tournament. You know what I mean? Give us the cut.
Well, what do you
call that? What are we? Talent scouts. Okay. We're talent scouting, and we have a 5%. It's low, guys. 5%. You send to the Patreon
Ryan,
account when you win.
I wanted 10% on that birthday.
I know you were going to say 10.
On that June 28th tournament.
Yeah.
When you win, just give me a 10% cut because I'm 33 at that point.
Hey, I'm 33 as of the 5th of June. So it makes sense. Let's just bump it to 10%.
There you go. 10% apiece, right? Not like shared 10%.
No, it's to the Delirious Dads Gaming, which really just goes to you because you're the one who's put money in so far. So yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's we're kidding, guys, to an extent, you know.
Yeah. But seriously.
Yeah, 10%. But seriously. But no, you can find us also on our social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We try to keep up with it. Hard whenever you're full time, working all the time, but we do our best to pop up updates, do funny memes. We try to get some gaming news out there to let you guys know what's going on in the world of gaming. So, and
Stay
also
delirious.
Oh, you messed it up.
I thought it was the right timing, and then you started to say something, so I just got louder.
No, I was gonna plug your daughter's YouTube page.
Oh yeah,
so go for it.
Yeah, if you guys got kids that are, I don't know, 4 to 10, somewhere in there, maybe 12, depending on your kids, you guys can check out my daughter's YouTube page. It is Fun with Rory, and you can check her out. She does. She's got like 5 or 6 videos on there now. She had another one coming out this week. She's got a fishing video. She kind of does everything. She's very much non-niche or niche, however you want to put it. That's on purpose because she's too young to have a niche yet. I want her to enjoy everything. And so she puts little videos of different things from science projects to fishing to art to cooking. She kind of does whatever, but they are good little videos. We do take the time to put them together well. And I know that unless they're lying to me, the kids that have watched them so far enjoy them. So
hey,
check them out.
Did you film the robot? Building the robots?
Yes, it will be a video.
Good.
That will be probably 2 weeks before that one comes out.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure that we're going to get to see that one because that would be a cute one to watch. So, all right, guys.
Stay delirious.
Stay dadding.
And stay gaming.
This has been a Delirious Dads production. For more information about the show, visit our website at www.deliriousdadsgaming.com. You can also find us on facebook.com/deliriousdadsgaming, twitch.tv, and YouTube. Make sure you like and share our pages to help us grow the channel. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Please leave a rating and review if you enjoy the show. Thank you again for listening, and we hope to see you next time.